Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Binder Side. Today I'm going to be opening up some pretty cool cards. Star Wars Unlimited, an entire booster box of one of its expansions, Twilight of the Republic. This is a really cool set and trading card game. I just started learning the mechanics of the game. It's pretty simple, I think. It's pretty straightforward in terms of how to play, what you're playing. Really, the challenge comes with the deck building portions, as well as just understanding how your leader or commanders, how they work, how they operate, and trying to build your deck around leaders. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering. This set features the Clone Wars era, which is actually my favorite Star Wars era. It features a lot of Clone Wars characters that we know and love. And enjoyed growing up with, at least I did. With these booster packs, choose your leader, build your deck, challenge your rivals in this fast-paced, easy-to-learn game of unlimited possibilities. It actually really is really easy to learn. Highlights the military conflicts between the Galactic Republic and the Confederacy of Independent Systems, aka the Separatists, featuring the heroes and villains that fought each other throughout the Clone Wars. Each pack can be used to build and upgrade decks for head-to-head multiplayer, draft, or sealed play. So yeah, I'm really excited to open this. There are cards in here that I really want to get, and hopefully we can pull. Yeah, let's go ahead and open this sucker. So right now, I think the price for a booster box of this, it's kind of going up just because there's like a 5th set already coming out. A 4th set just released. Jump to Lightspeed is the name. It's pretty cool. It focuses a lot on the space mechanics of the game. So more ships, pilots, more upgrades related to piloting and just building like a deck with not just with ships, but enhancing your ship arena, as they call it. Each pack is guaranteed one like big hit at the very end, and it's the very last card, as it should be. There are holographic cards. There's what's called hyperspace cards and showcase cards. So hyperspace cards, which are borderless cards, and you have showcase cards, which are typically the leader cards, also borderless, and they are really cool looking. So hopefully we could pull a showcase card. It's really difficult to do that. Those are the cards that they're going for high price, like a couple $100. Let's go ahead and start opening packs. So first pack, there is no card trick like there is with Pokemon. We just jump right in. So this is a leader card. So we got Quinlan Voss. It's actually double-sided. This would basically be your commander card. We have your base. In this game, you have a base worth 30 points that you need to bring down to 0. And then you have fun cards like this. One of the biggest reasons Twilight of the Republic got me so hyped is because, well, I just really love the clones. I mean, when I was growing up, the Clone Wars era was peak Star Wars for me. Back then, clones were kind of just, well, there. They showed up in episode 2, they did their job, and they disappeared. All the same armor, all the same voices. No real sense of individuality. But then the animated Clone Wars series came along, and well, that changed everything. Suddenly, these identical soldiers had names, personalities, and backstories. You started seeing them as real people, not just soldiers, but brothers. Guys like Captain Rex, Fives, Echo, Heavy, and even 99, who's a deformed clone who still wanted to serve alongside his brothers. It was powerful stuff. It made the war feel personal, and honestly, it made me care more about these characters than a lot of the Jedi characters. So naturally, when I saw I could actually build a clone-themed deck in Star Wars Unlimited, I thought, okay, this is something I need to explore. So right now, I'm kind of in this brainstorming phase, trying to figure out how a clone deck could actually work. What I'm drawn to is the idea of overwhelming my opponent with clone tokens, building a small army, supporting them with buffs or effects, and kind of mimicking that Republic battlefield vibe from the show. I don't think it's the most meta strategy out there, but for me, it's about playing a deck that feels like Star Wars. From what I've seen so far, there are a handful of leaders that could make this work, and I've been flipping between 3 of them. Obi-Wan Kenobi, the patient mentor, Nala Se, the clone engineer, and Captain Rex, fighting for his brothers. Each one has some interesting potential, but I haven't landed on a final pick just yet. Still testing and still theorizing. So, Obi-Wan. He's really interesting. It's all about healing and balance. See, on your attack phase, you could heal one of your units for 1, and if you do, you could deal damage to a different unit. It's not flashy, but I could see how it would add a nice rhythm to the game. Plus, Obi-Wan has Sentinel, which means your opponent has to attack him first. That could give your other units some breathing room. I don't know if this would be the most efficient clone deck, but it might give me a really fun control angle, where I buy time, I manage the threat, and I slowly outlast my opponent. Then there's Nala Se, who might have the most potential for wild combos. See, her ability basically lets you ignore aspect restrictions. So instead of worrying about whether your clone cards match your leader and your base colors, you could just play them, and you could play all of them. For someone like me who just wants to jam as many cool clones into one deck as possible, that's super appealing. And then there's her passive effect, which every time one of your clones is defeated, you get to heal your base for 2 points. So technically, the more you lose, the longer you can last, which feels very on brand for the Clone Wars, honestly. I haven't figured out if this ability scales well into competitive play, but conceptually, it's just really fun, and I could see myself experimenting a lot with this card. And finally, there's Captain Rex himself. If one of your units attacks during your turn, you can spend 2 resources to create a clone token, which is pretty straightforward. You attack, and you grow the army. And when you deploy Rex, all friendly trooper units get 1 defense stat, not just clones. So this can make your board pretty sticky and interesting. He also works really well with ambush units, cards that come into play ready to attack if your opponent controls something. There's a nice tempo to that. You play a unit, you attack immediately, you trigger that bonus token, and you spawn that clone token. Right now, I'm still trying to figure out what the best ratio of token generation and support looks like, but if I wanted to go more aggressive, I feel like Rex could be the way to go. So that's the leaders, but what about the bases? This is the part that I've actually been going back and forth on. Each base kind of sets the tone for your whole deck. Health total, special actions, you name it. If I were to lean into Obi-Wan, I'd probably be pairing him up with Tipoca City. It's got the standard 30 defense and no unique ability. It's very simple, it's clean, it fits the Clone Wars theme, and it also allows me to focus more on synergy and less on fancy tricks. But if I go with Rex or Nala Se, I'm leaning towards Energy Conversion Lab. It's only got 25 defense, so there is some risk there. But the epic action allows me to play a 6 cost or lower unit and give them the ambush ability for that turn. So this opens up some pretty cool plays. A unit like the Arc Trooper, he has the Overwhelm ability, which lets extra damage spill over to the opponent's base. So if he takes down a weaker enemy, the leftover damage still hits. Or a unit like Shaak Ti, who when she attacks can generate more clone tokens. And then the cherry on top, well, either of them would gain the ambush ability thanks to that epic action, and they'd enter the battlefield ready to attack the second I play them. And if they're paired with Nala Se and they die, I'll gain some health back if it's a clone trooper, but if it's paired with Rex, well, if they attack successfully, I can exhaust 2 resources and also generate another clone token. So there's potential there. I'm still testing, but there's definitely something cool happening with these cards. So that's kind of where I'm at. I haven't nailed down the final list yet, but I'm really enjoying the process of piecing this all together. It's like I'm building my own Republic squad, testing commanders, looking at their synergy, trying to figure out what fits. And right now, Nalase, to me, feels like the most flexible starting point. Just being able to run every single clone card is so tempting, and the heal on death mechanic fits the story of the clone army really well. But Obi-Wan's control style is cool, and well, Rex, well, he's just Rex. He's always having a good time. No matter what, the goal is to make this deck feel like a Clone Wars episode. Not just a pile of cards, but a little tribute to one of the best eras of Star Wars storytelling. So yeah, that's where my head is at right now with this whole clone deck idea. It's definitely a work in progress, but honestly, that's part of the fun. I don't want to net deck or just chase the best strategy. I want to build something that feels like the Clone Wars. Something that's scrappy, loyal, and hits a little harder than you expect. And maybe it's not perfect. Maybe I'll make some wild plays. And maybe I'll lose horribly. But if I can flood the board with clone tokens and hear that imaginary Clone Wars theme playing in my head, that's a win in my book. Anyways, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you experimented with the clone deck in Star Wars Unlimited? Which leader would you pick? Would you pick Obi-Wan, Nalase, Rex? Or is there another combo I should be looking at? And hey, if you've got a favorite clone, drop their name in the comments below. Mine, Captain Rex. Anyways, thanks for hanging out with me. If you enjoyed this kind of deck building talk or just want to see more Star Wars Unlimited content through the eyes of a Clone Wars fan, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe with notifications on, and maybe even share this with your squad. May the Force be with you all, and I will see you on the next video right here on the Binder side.